Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Will Caitlin Clark make the USA basketball team? And if she does, because we all know she should have made it last time. If she makes it, and I'm not even talking about the Worlds coming up, although that is going to be interesting to watch because it's going to be an early indicator for 2028 and the Olympics. But let's say she makes it. I think at this point she's too good. Everyone knows what would happen if she didn't. But here is the thing. Is it already rigged against her to play the amount of time that she should play, to start when we all know already that she should be starting? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Of course, hope you had a fantastic holiday weekend. Shout out to the 19. Let's dig into this. And we're going to talk about why, because this is Geno Auriemma talking about Paige Bueckers and her Team USA invite. Because here's the thing, folks. I know a lot of people will like to say that it's not the case, but Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark do, in fact, play the same position. Now, I'm not saying that they cannot be on the court together and be very effective as teammates playing together. I think they absolutely could. But again, then you have to look at the other factors involved. Like, I don't know, pure shooting guards like, say, Sabrina Ionescu. You've got Jackie Young, who will be most likely competing for a spot as well. I don't know why Kelsey Mitchell was not invited to this camp. That's bizarre. But my point being, they do play the same position. They will be battling. Maybe not for a roster spot, although I don't know. Chelsea Gray was invited to this camp, but they definitely will be in competition for playing time. So let's listen to what Geno Auriemma has to say, because there's just some weird things in general here that red flag and all that. UConn Huskies women's basketball coach Geno Auriemma has paid close attention to Dallas Wings guard Paige Bueckers' WNBA career and has been supportive of her career thus far. Now, I will say this, in looking through this whole article, I think this was written by AI. I mean, it's Sports Illustrated. They were nailed, I don't know, a couple of years ago at this point for not only having legitimate writers using AI to write their articles, but they actually made completely fake writers, completely fake profiles, fake pictures. The whole thing was AI. They got slammed for it because I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the internet. They're doing it faster. They want to get up there. The standards have been lessened in terms of editing and editors and all that. But been supportive of her WNBA career and has been supportive of her career thus far. That's just really poorly written. Anyway, sorry, tangent. Just it's one of those things as a writer that irks me a little bit. So as you know, Paige was one of the players into the camp coming up in December. I believe the first step is to get invited, Auriemma said. So that's number one. So that happened. She's been on USA teams her entire life. That's a surprise to anybody. He added that understanding the expectations once she arrives will come naturally to her, explaining whatever you need her to do, she's going to do it. Again, I don't. This is why I don't understand. There's a lot of the same vibe with Paige Bueckers as Angel Reese, and sort of kind of like this Make a Wish participation trophy kid. And in Paige's instance, I don't get it. For those who are Paige fans and be like, "Oh, you're why do you," and then, attacking me for saying Paige is terrible. No, she's not. That's my point. It's even more bizarre that it's done this way with Paige Bueckers, that she's so protected and gets all this participation trophy type of vibe going on. I can handle myself in this level of competition and I could be what my team needs me to be. All right, that's perfectly normal. But let's get into, did I miss it? Hold on. Let me just, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss the key part that I was looking for, okay? Because it's important to talk about that. So Auriemma said, since Sue retired, there really hasn't been a clear cut. Here's the successor, Auriemma said, indicating that Paige Bueckers would be that successor. Really? Geno, are we gonna have to do this again with this whole Caitlin Clark thing? You already completely and totally embarrassed yourself a couple of years ago when Caitlin Clark was entering the WNBA. We all know about that. You got everything completely 100% wrong. It says maybe she's too young. I don't know. Or maybe she's ready. I don't know. But I do know she has all the things that she needs. Well, if she has all the things that she needs, then she's not too young. And again, this is bizarre because she's older than Caitlin Clark. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe she's older than Aaliyah Boston, right? Isn't she older than Aaliyah Boston? So here we go. Where is it? Beckers is clearly enjoying her career so far, and he's taking. See, this is what I mean. And he's taking one step at a time. It's also obvious that she, man, talk about a quick transition, folks. In no rush to take major risks as she still has so much potential around her. Let's see what I don't even know what the hell that means. Forget the fact that we're going from he to she. No rush to take major risks as she still has so much potential around. What potential around her? Do you mean her potential? She recognizes that using her fame and fortune for good with a capital G and an E at the end is only going to elevate her a greater height. By joining Team USA, this gives her a wake up on a lot of her a wake up. Holy crap. This is 100% AI generated, Sports Illustrated. You should be embarrassed. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, I didn't even get it. I don't want to get into a tangent because I really just wanted to talk about the Geno Auriemma thing and the problem with this. Because as you know, we all talk about the UConn mafia, right? The UConn mob and how much power the University of Connecticut has had, being like for a long time, basically the only women's basketball program, completely infiltrated the WNBA. It's basically they created a pro league for UConn. Team USA has been the same thing as well. Geno Auriemma has been involved in USA basketball for, let me just scroll down, right? We go all the way back to, I think, let me see, USA basketball coaching experience, right? We go all the way back to 1993. The Festival West team, U.S. select team in 96, 2000 USA Junior World Championship qualifying team, 2000 U.S. Olympic team. I mean, it's basically been him, and we know he's still involved mightily with the Olympic team as well. So here's what I'm getting at. Is this going to be a problem for Caitlin Clark? We all know there is a UConn mafia agenda within the WNBA, 100%. Caitlin Clark is not a part of that. Paige Bueckers 100% is. You factor in the other aspect of this, and we all know about the WNBA activism. We all know about checking boxes. Paige checks them all. Well, maybe she isn't quite tan enough, but she checks all the rest of it. And a lot of times that gets even more support because you can point to Paige. Oh, well, look at that untanned girl saying all this stuff, right? She's bent the knee. I mean, no one has I honestly I get Scientology vibes with the WNBA and players like Paige Bueckers and all the switching of teams and everything. It is an ooming league, folks, if you know what I'm saying. Stephanie White, part of that, Stephanie White, I don't care what y'all say. I know the haters are going to unsubscribe and all that, but Stephanie White is a coach with an agenda. She is not a coach for Caitlin Clark. I don't think she's a very good basketball coach. And then you add in the other stuff, and she's 100% an agenda-driven WNBA activist. She switched teams after being married. I'm just saying, I don't care that she did, but I do care how it affects basketball and players like Caitlin Clark because that is what I'm a fan of. I do not need to tune in to a professional sports league for political and cultural activism. I can go elsewhere for that. I tune into sports for sports. So it and Caitlin is none of that. And a lot of people are waiting and wondering when that's going to happen. Not that for those who are going to go crazy, but just in general, more of Caitlin speaking out and sounding like the rest of the players in the league. They've desperately wanted to go after her own fans. And so now you've got this. Geno Auriemma is a ton of power with the U.S. Olympic basketball team, U.S. national team. I shouldn't even say specifically Olympics, but obviously they're the team that play in the Olympics. And now you've got Sue Bird in charge, who he just mentioned, and talks about Paige as her successor. So fingers crossed, this is something to keep an eye on with Caitlin Clark. Not only how she plays, hello Stephanie White, is she going to play like Caitlin Clark, or is she going to allow Stephanie White to chip away and chip away until Caitlin Clark just looks like a good version of everyone else in the WNBA and most of her fan base walks away? Because I promise you, some already have. I know because I get the messages. Okay. It's not a lot at this point. I think we're all desperate to see Caitlin Clark being Caitlin Clark again. Okay, this is not attack on Caitlin Clark. I want to see the Caitlin Clark we all saw in the Liberty game, right? The Caitlin Clark that we all saw in college. The Caitlin Clark even that we saw in the second half of 2024. That's the Caitlin Clark we want to see. And then the flip side of that is with people like Geno still having so much power and with someone like Sue Bird a Caitlin Clark snake in the grass hater, I'm sorry she is, being in charge. What is that going to mean for Caitlin Clark and her playing time with the USA basketball team and how she plays? That's going to be something very, very interesting to watch as the rest of the drama unfolds with the WNBA. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.